So here's the first layer, and most of the stuff is contained here. So you have the three portrait switch outs, the two neck pieces, the three hand switch outs, the two guys holding up the base, and the cosmic cube. And now there was like a little compartment there off to the right where it looked like nothing was in there. Oh yeah, and his mask. There was an arm piece that I later found that it goes in the base. It looks like it had a key, so I don't know if it's supposed to key in or it just broke off and it was supposed to go in that section. I don't know. But anyway, let's get to the other layer. Now, here's the other layer. We have the cape and we have Doom's hood. So all three portraits just kind of go in that hood, and you have the two guys here that hold up the base, and obviously Doom's body there. All right, collectors, here is Doom fully assembled, and this is probably the switch outs that I'm going to go with. His hand is open, and I think this one is supposed to be holding a mask, but I'm not going to do that one. And this specific portrait. Now, this one is from, I think, the third version of the Ultimates, and I forget the artist, but I think the last panel is Doom orchestrated this whole, I guess, the killing of Scarlet Witch and stuff. And it's this design that the artist did for Doom, and that's what this custom did. So again, this is quarter scale, and I got the white variant of Doom because I already have Sideshow's OG Doom on Throne, which I'm very happy with, and I'll show in the comics portion of this video why this is not God Doom. This is actually Future Foundation Doom. A lot of people, they just see that, okay, Doom is in a white outfit, so it must automatically be God Doom, but he does not. God Doom does not look like this in the comic. He's actually doesn't have a chest tunic. His bottom tunic is not all connected. It's just like a little piece of fabric in front and the back. He's wearing white gloves all the time, and his eyes, they sometimes glow white when he uses his power. What other differences are there? Yeah, he doesn't have the little like cape hooks going on to hold his cape. The cape just kind of wraps around his neck. So let's just get a little bit closer to this. I mean, yeah, this is an amazing sculpt on this Doom. So I'll show the other switch outs when we get to them, but you can see that one thing I do like about this particular version of this statue is a lot of Dooms, when they do his costume and it's fully sculpted, they have like his pecs here, his like muscles showing. I mean, he's in a suit of armor, and it's not like a skin tight tunic that he's wearing. It's rare that like he doesn't have the tunic, like in Secret Wars, or I think in Secret Wars, both of them, even the original one, when he took the Beyonder's powers, he was just like in all armor. He didn't even have a cape. And then the 2015 Secret Wars, same kind of thing. He was mostly showing his armor. So it wouldn't make sense that his fabric would be skin tight, showing like the armor muscles that he has. So I do appreciate the commissioner went this route and put the fabric on him. Now it's amazingly detailed. When I first showed my wife this, I mean, she was just like in awe of the cape. I showed her Art Statue Collector's video of this, and he was going in very detailed with the cape here. And at the time, she thought that all statues were traditionally sculpted. She was trying to figure out like, well, how did they do this? Because she makes cakes and stuff. So she's like, oh, they probably put the clay on a pattern look, and then they kind of folded it and molded it the way they want. I'm like, no, this is digitally sculpted. That you could see she was like, oh, so it's just a printout. So like, yeah, she didn't really like that, because and she also didn't know that I guess most of my new statues are digitally sculpted. I mean, I have very few left that are traditional, like the Dr. Doom on Throne, the Jean Grey, some of the Bowens. So not most of them are digital sculpted. So yeah, we go here to his face and check that out. I mean, looks very intimidating. That's why I prefer this mask. His armor is very good too. I mean, it kind of keeps the classic Doom look, but modernized it a bit. They made, this goes up at an angle, so it just makes him look more physically imposing. And instead of just a normal like belt buckle belt, they have this like, he has like a doom belt buckle here where it's like his face, and it reminds me of Secret Wars when the Thors knelt below God, and you pan out and it's like Doom's mask. So that was pretty cool. So let's get down to the base. Now the base is really cool here too. So this is a big selling point for me. I mean, a lot of Dooms, like sideshows, they put them on. Um, what was it? It was some, who you couldn't even tell what it was, but the second premium format had like no detail on it. And the third one, he's on his staircase, but his staircase looks all beat up, similar to a custom that was recently shown where he's on stairs and his stairway is like broken and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is Doom. Okay, this guy is very vain. He has a big ego. You think he's gonna be in his castle and it's all like it's all disheveled? No, he's gonna make sure his castle looks in perfect condition. So this one, I think was modeled after like Dante's Inferno, like sculptures or whatever, and it just shows people clamoring out, maybe in hell or whatever. And if you go to these little guys here that pop out, it shows like a burned person, and it looks like it's Doom's mask here. So right there. So it looks like it's Doom mask. So like, okay, they could be people in hell, or maybe his people, Latverians, and Doom's holding up the foundation so it's not crushing them. I mean, yeah, they're still trying to get out, but he's the one propping them up. So that's how I interpret it, which is great for Doom, because the people at Vera, he loves them in the comics. I mean, they're his people, and he makes sure that they live a good life and stuff. So Latveria in the comics, I mean, it's like started out as like a third world country, but now it's like one of the richest countries in the world in the comics. So, and that's all because of Doom. So yeah, so here we go. Let's see. I'll do the switch outs and we'll come right back. All right. Before we go into the other portraits, let's go into the comics portion. So here's a Future Foundation, and this is the God Doom. So let's get into it. All right. This is a picture of a lot of the customs I've seen where Doom is wearing a white costume and people are calling it God Doom. Sorry, but this Doom is actually Future Foundation Doom, appearing in Hickman's run. Now, this particular Doom started wearing the white outfit because the Future Foundation, which is like all like the Reacher's kids and a lot of the smarter characters in there, were trying to figure out a way to stop the Council of Reeds, and the Council of Reeds was basically a multiversal collection of Reed Richards that were trying to solve a lot of issues in the multiverse. And Doom joined them because they were becoming too dangerous and stuff. So he got a bunch of villains together, and they, tried to come up with a plan. And you see here, like some of the villains turned on them, and Doom wasn't having that. And the main reason is because there was some Celestials in another universe that destroyed most of the Council of Reeds, and they were afraid that they were going to come to our universe. So they went there to close the bridge, which allows them to come in the universe. And they got in a fight with the Mad Celestials, and pretty much Doom was there. Valeria asked Doom to be there so he could buy them time in order to escape, which he did. And he was able to hold off four Celestials, them doing a blast on him. He later survived and found like the Infinity Gauntlet from one of the Reeds, multiversal Reeds, and essentially created a universe there with the other Dooms that the Reeds had caught that, and they totally lobotomized. So yeah, that is a brief summary of Future Foundation Doom. All right, so here's issue 4 of Secret Wars, first cover of God Doom. Next, we have like when they first show him in the comic, and you can see that his costume, he has the white gloves on, his chest is exposed, the armor's exposed, he has the white eyes, and there's no clips holding his cape on. So it's a distinct look for Doom. It's not just a color change from green to white. Here's here's a battle world, and where people encounter Doom, and you can just see like the armor. He's mostly showing his armor, and it's shiny. And here's another one that kind of looks like the OG sideshow pose. Here's another where he has his glowing white eyes, and here's the deviant art someone made, and you can see like it's not just coloring his costume white. And here's more close-ups of his armor. And I mean, it looks very intimidating also, and his face where it's more disfigured. So I think this is one of the first times they actually show Doom's face. Like it's rare when it happens in the comics. Here's him battling the 616 heroes that he finds, and him killing like Phoenix Force Cyclops who attacked them. And Strange like puts guides them away, and then Doom asks them to bring him back, and Strange says no, and Doom kills Strange here. So, and this is like 616 Strange as well. So when everyone rises up against Doom, Doom thinks it's Thanos that's orchestrating everything, and everyone knows this part where he threatens Doom, and Doom's like, "Do you have an Infinity Gauntlet?" Thanos says no, and then Doom just reaches into his chest and rips out his skeleton. And then the climax of Secret Wars, he fights Black Panther with the Infinity Gauntlet, and they pretty much have a cosmic battle. Like he freezes Doom, shatters him, Doom reforms, and then they have like this cosmic battle where it's the power of the Beyonders versus the Infinity Gauntlet, and over the next few panels, like Doom just ends up overwhelming the Infinity Gauntlet and stopping Black Panther. So. And all this is going on while the Reeds are talking to Molecule Man, trying to convince them to take Doom's power and give it to them. But yeah, here's him stopping the Infinity Gauntlet and just beating up Black Panther. And here's the custom Doom. Like I said, it looks like an action figure to me, and it's just so stiff. It looks so weird. And then there's the last custom that was made, but his armor just looks like so crazy. So anyway, all right. So this is the second portrait, I would say. That's definitely the worst part of the assembly. I mean, it's the portraits are separate from like the neck piece. You have to like put the mask in the hood and then put the neck piece in and then kind of like wiggle it on. It's best when you try to take it out, you kind of like rotate his head face first out of like the little open section here and slide it out. I mean, you just have to be careful. Definitely would preferred if there was just 3 different portraits with the hood and then you can switch them out. I mean, just make things a lot easier. But maybe this was done to save cost. But anyway, here's the third portrait or second portrait. It's more, I don't know. Let's see. I mean, it's kind of like similar to like his original looking mask, maybe just a bit sharper edges, make him look meaner. I don't know. I mean, I like it. I just don't like it as much as the portrait I had on. But yeah, this is more, I guess, of a classic looking mask. It doesn't have the mechanical stuff on the side like the previous mask did. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's a good option. His fist is, he has it in a fist. And the third one, you know what? I thought the one I had before was the one holding the mask, but it wasn't. It was one that's supposed to hold the cosmic cube. So yeah, I'll put the third one on, the third option for his hand, and I'll put the mask in there, and I'll put the unmasked portrait in there, and then we'll pull back. All right, here is the third option. So third option is an unmasked Doctor Doom. The hand is open, and it's you can put the mask in his hand. So let's go in with this one. And this one, I really do like this unmasked portrait. Kind of similar to how he looked in Secret Wars. I think it was issue 4, where he's talking to the Invisible Woman, and he's talking about his ruling the kingdom and his face and stuff like that. And she convinces him to take off his mask, and he takes it off, and it shows him, and it's mainly like he's missing more part of his nose. But I've seen other customs where they do remove that part of his nose, and it just looks really weird. So I like how they took only a part of his nose off, and when his mouth opens, like he's missing like some teeth and stuff like that, and it's really only like burnt or like messed up on like the left side and like the teeth and the nose. So I think this is a happy medium between that because again, like without the nose, it looked really odd. But other customs do it also. They they put they make his face kind of look like Freddy Krueger, like it's really burned and stuff like that. So I generally don't like that look. Um, because Doctor Doom has had various incarnations of like how he looks under the mask. Sometimes it's just like he had a little scar, kind of like in the Fantastic Four movie, and he's just so vain that he put on that hot mask and it kind of burned him further. Or some, it's more of the explosion that injured his face was more damaging to his face, and that's how he looks. I kind of like this version of it better. So yeah, the hand also goes in really neatly. I mean, the mask looks pretty cool. Let me take it off. I mean, it pretty much kind of fits in there. Also, I did put it on without it. I mean, you can't set it on there because obviously there's no magnet there to hold it in place. But other than that, it looks pretty cool. I'm going to switch this back to the portrait that I'm going to keep, and I'll also show the Cosmic Cube. I think other people have shown also that it's not the best to do, and I'll give my idea of what I'm planning to put in his hand. All right, so final thoughts on this. I love it. I mean, the paint application is great. I mean, with all statues, there's little imperfections. I mean, some bleeding over on that, but it's not a big deal. One thing I do want to mention that is his armor. While the paint application on it does make it look like kind of real armor and stuff, I would have preferred that it was a bit shinier because generally Doctor Doom, whenever you see him in his comic whatever, his armor does shine. I mean, he's like the ruler of Latveria. He's a king, so usually like he's not wearing any dirty clothes, and his armor is always like spotless, like you have here in this is Hickman's Fantastic Four, or the Future Foundation is quite prominent in this comic. In this issue 8, issue 9 also has a cover of Doom on it, and usually his armor's shiny. But you know what? I mean, that's why I have my OG. I mean, his armor's like clean and shiny, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, I mean I don't really have any nitpicks on this. I mean, I think it looks amazing. It's my first custom from this group, and I was really impressed with it. So, I mean, I've seen pictures of it before, and I generally try not to collect the same character unless they're in a different costume. And yeah, it's white, but this is the Future Foundation Doom. He was featured prominently in that comic, and he had a lot of great feats, like holding off the Celestials and stuff like that, so the Future Foundation could leave. And yeah, so again, Future Foundation Doom, not God Doom. Okay, I mean, I only stress this enough because I love the Secret War storyline. I would like some group to make a true God Doom statue. So I know two have been made in the past, but honestly, they were not good at all. Like he looks so stiff in the pictures. It looks like someone just grabbed an action figure and put him in a throne or put him holding something. Like it didn't look natural at all. And those are the only two customs that I'm aware of where they made an actual God Doom, where like he doesn't have the tunic and stuff like that. I mean, there were other issues with that where it didn't look like God Doom, but I mean, still, that was like the closest. There's also one that was made where he's on a throne, but his armor is so crazy looking. Like I didn't want that one in my collection. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the review. Here is the Cosmic Cube, and it sits here. I'm not gonna put anything that doesn't have a magnet to hold it in place. I mean, I'm in California. We had an earthquake yesterday that was about 7 miles from me, and things were moving around. I mean, that Silver Surfer was moving back and forth because he has such it's just one little peg and his feet come together. So he was rocking, the base wasn't. And my Bowen Juggernaut, it's a small peg holding him down, and the peg doesn't go all the way in, so he was rocking back and forth. So imagine if I had this thing that barely sits in there, that would have fell over, probably damaged the statue. But I do plan to, I have some sculpting putty, and it seems like it'd be easy. So I'm gonna try to sculpt the ultimate nullifier and put that in his hand right here. And because it has like a little, um, I don't know, looks like a little antenna or whatever, and it curves in some issues. I'm gonna have it curve around his hand, so he's holding the ultimate nullifier. So I'll try to do that, and when I do, I'll probably just post like a quick short of it. But next video with this one, I'll do a comparison between, this custom Doom and the OG sideshow. I'll have to like prop up the sideshow just to kind of make them side by side and stuff like that. But yeah, so thanks again for watching.